Saul's message for Saturday, November 15, 2014. Hello, this is John with Saul's message for Saturday, November 15, 2014. Today he is talking about love and forgiveness. And, to delight you all, smile please. I am posting my entire conversation with him to give you a feel for how the channelings often flow, or don't flow. As you can see, I take breaks, sometimes quite long ones. Other times the whole message flows in one session of a little less than 2 hours. Today's one took rather longer. Saul blog number 453 for Saturday, November 15, 2014. Channeled from 14:35 on Tuesday, November 11 through 8:19 on Saturday, November 15, 2014. Me. Good afternoon, dear Saul. Thanks for your last message. I feel unmotivated, lethargic, so please help me relax and listen for your voice, your words, and then start typing. Saul. Good afternoon, John. It's good to hear from you, it always is. Yes, relax, take a break for a moment and intend for your down mood to shift, and it will. 14:40 break until Friday 13:45. Me. Well, that was a long moment waiting for my down mood to shift. I apologize most profusely. I am having trouble relaxing into listening mode these days. I guess it's because you and Jesus have been, as always, offering such uplifting and inspiring messages, and yet nothing seems to be happening here on earth that we can identify as part of humanity's awakening, as wars, conflict, and suffering appears to be almost endemic across the world. And then of course there are all those who are really struggling financially, having possibly committed all to the spiritual venture, expecting funds to arrive momentarily which have not materialized. My doubts, and those of many, many others then intensify, and we ask ourselves, are we being incredibly naive and gullible? This is a dangerous and threatening world in which so many are suffering enormously, and it appears that they can do nothing to protect themselves or their loved ones, or even to alleviate that suffering. It's depressing, and uplifting spiritual messages, while nice and uplifting, do not help those down here who are in pain. They need physical relief, resources, financial backing, not words and blessings. So, I've ranted a bit. Help me relax and then give me a message to post, and I might post my little rant along with it. Saul. Good afternoon, John. Yes, I understand where you are coming from. We do see the suffering that so many are undergoing, suffering that seems very real and intense, and we are assisting you in coping with it all as you wait for the event. And that event is coming. In fact, it has already happened. Humanity is just not yet totally ready to open to it, and in doing so dissolve the illusion. There is only now. You know that intellectually, with your brains/minds, but you have to accept it without reservation into your hearts, where the eternal flame of divine love burns constantly behind the veil, screen, curtain, closed door that you built to experience separation from your source. The source in which you have your eternal existence. That source contains everything. There is nothing beyond it or outside it, because there is nowhere else. Your experience of a threatening and dangerous world/universe, as all the channels, ascended masters, mystics, all in the spiritual realms keep telling you and confirming for you, is an illusion that you made and maintain. When you release your hold on it, your desire to maintain it, it will be gone. Poof. Just like that. And we know that is very difficult for you to get a handle on, to accept. But you will. That is what your path to awakening is all about, and you cannot fail to awaken. Why? Because it is God's will, and yours, that you do. 14:12 break until 22:16. To awaken is your destiny, you have no other. Within the illusion it seems that you have myriad choices leading to a multitudinous assortment of possible destinies, and you do make many choices, but you choose them mostly to distract yourselves from the one choice you need to make, and that choice is to awaken. It is your sense of guilt, of your unacceptability to God, that holds you back. the choice to experience separation brought with it an incredible sense of guilt because you had chosen to separate from your source, the infinitely loving Father who not only wanted you to be eternally happy, but also knew exactly what was required for you to achieve that state, and who provided it for you. Sometimes human parents play at being God as they try to push their children along unsuitable paths supposedly for their own good. 22:30 break until Saturday 7:35. Normally they are either attempting to alleviate their own sense of inadequacy by making their children succeed, or they are attempting to prevent their children from making or repeating their own, as they see it, disastrous mistakes. This brings terrible repercussions because it only confirms for their children that they are indeed inadequate. God, the Father of you all, does not do that. He gave you everything, and the freedom to choose how to use His gifts. He is infinitely wise and loving, and so He knows that you will make the right choices, eventually. He allows you that freedom because love never makes demands, it accepts and allows. When you acknowledge His love for you and allow it into your hearts, all your fears and worries will dissolve because it brings with it the knowing that you are His most precious and dearly beloved child who can do no wrong. All that seems wrong, often terribly wrong, unforgivable, is of the illusion, totally unreal, a terrifying nightmare from which you are going to awaken. You are love, there is nothing else, and it is impossible for you to deceive yourselves of that divine and holy truth indefinitely. And if you are love, which you are, eternally, then you cannot ever have done anything unloving. That is why forgiveness by you of your brothers and sisters is so important, because to withhold forgiveness is to withhold love. But you cannot withhold it because you are love, and nothing else. To forgive is simply to recognize and acknowledge this, and that is what dissolves the illusion. Love neither sees nor recognizes the illusion because it does not exist. Love sees and recognizes only what is real. Not to forgive is to hold on to resentment and judgment which enormously restricts and limits your ability to see, to be aware, to know love. Whatever you hold on to that is not of love erects a shield, a blind, an obstacle that hides love from you, and when you have shielded yourselves from love, terror strikes and all that you can see is the unreal, human conflict, betrayal, suffering, pain, and absolute hopelessness. But take heart, dear ones, because all that horror is unreal and will fade from view when you open your hearts again to your Father's ever-present love. Love conquers all, gently, tenderly, and irresistibly. It is just waiting with infinite patience for you to allow yourselves to know it once more. With so very much love, Saul. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman.wordpress.com